And we are excited to see the floor light up for a few three-pointers and just make this a cool atmosphere here in Kansas City as we throw it up. And the Sun Devils in their white jerseys with the maroon and gold trim have the first possession of the game, Andrea. Baseline jumper, no good. And then just already physical play, players pushing each other. We're not surprised at all.
Absolutely not. We expect this to be an extremely physical game.
For Arizona State, as we look at the Arizona starting lineup, Sugapong coming off a career-high 31 points in the game against Utah.
Poa taking the offensive foul on that moment. She is a terrific defensive player.
You mentioned Gabby Elliott had a good game in Tempe. She had 22 points each of the games against Arizona this year.
Oh, she has been such a terrific player for Arizona State, somebody that can score for them at will.
And a baseline jumper by Trammell, the freshman out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
And Trammell has really given lots of great minutes for Arizona this year. They have needed her presence on the interior.
Spinning off the backboard, Carrera with the first basket of the game for Arizona State.
That's that inside game that we will see from Arizona State. They have some bigs that can score in the paint.
This is the 109th all-time meeting between these old rivals as Arizona able to score, but that Arizona had earlier this year and got the two victories.
And they also won and swept.
Molly Miller and her squad have won both games against Arizona this year. She is also in her first season. Head coach Becky Burke in her first season has done a successful job of building programs before at Buffalo, at USC Upstate. She was a tremendous player for Louisville, graduating in 2012, and definitely sees the heat in this rivalry. We'll talk about that as we go along today. Nice shot, a tough shot by Sugapong.
Had an injury to their leading scorer, Michaela Purdue, and she has just been lights out as a point guard for them.
Ball coming right at us, and it's going to be off Arizona State. Over the last 2 years, 54 and 12 at Grand Canyon, and helped them to their first NCAA tournament appearance last year. Cornfield with the jumper, and big lead here.
She is a great pickup as a transfer from UNLV and has performed beautifully for the Sun Devils.
Now 1 for 5 is Arizona State. 4 turnovers in their first 9 possessions. And nice work by Danielle Welch. And this is like the game in Tucson. Arizona got out to a great start. Now it's a much different atmosphere as they had over 9,000 in attendance. But they have had the same kind of start, an 8-0 run for Arizona. Bracken's tough inside.
Find a good job of attacking. You've stepped on it. It's an interesting feel to be out on the floor. It has a little bit of abrasiveness to the glass top.
But we noticed in shoot-arounds that after they came and looked at it, they quickly got used to it and it was just a basketball floor after things got started.
Well, if there isn't, kids today I think are very adaptable and they like the coolness of it. Is cool still a word?
Don't ask me. We are just out of the first media timeout here in the first quarter. Arizona up 10-7. They have been red hot, shooting 5 of 10 from the floor. That one off the mark for Welch.
I expect Sun Devils to come out with a little more energy here after that break. And good sign that Washington steps up as the leader, knocks down a three-pointer. This is zone right now is a little bit of a 1-3-1, but it's a matchup, and ASU hasn't figured it out in the quarter-court situation yet.
So how much of this did Arizona State see in the first couple of matchups?
Yeah, they saw a little bit of everything, but I'm not sure they expected a zone to start the game.
And Maya Williams, the freshman.
Try a zone, it works, you stick with it.
Nice backdoor cut, but Francois not able to gather it in. Arizona State on a 7-0 run, make that a 9-0 run.
There's Washington again, just able to, as the senior leader.
Arizona started 4 of 4 from the floor, but 1 of 7 since then, but they get the bank.
We mentioned it could be a rock fight, and both of these teams are willing to come out and just play and with the physicality of it.
Brackens, so crafty around the basket, can't score that one, but then she picks up the foul.
Bigger overall, more athletic maybe in the paint. You have to match that with physicality.
And she is fouled by Brackens. That's her second.
Yeah, and just see the players sliding on the floor. I was mentioning it seems like we've seen a couple of players slide here early on.
It's a glass surface as Trammell gets that one to bounce in.
I like the energy that Trammell has brought into this game early. Again, performing well as a freshman in her first conference tournament.
Baseline jumper splashes home for Deborah Davenport. That's her first basket of the game. Quickly to the other end, Welch, but missing on the layup. And then Sugapong tries to cut off.
That was talked about by Arizona State in the huddle is how do we get back on transition defense? Because right now Arizona's pushing pace every time down. It's that matchup again. It starts as a 1-3-1, but then you're following people, so there's no easy passes.
Washington with another three-pointer for Arizona State gives the Wildcats the lead back, or excuse me, the Sun Devils the lead back. And a tough shot at the rim, well contested by Arizona State.
Again, attack, attack, attack. That is the mentality for Arizona right now. Good.
Beautiful pass inside. Arizona State started 2 for 7. Arizona has a chance for a 2-for-1 if they make it quick here. And Cornfield tried but was denied. The three-point attempt goes down for Molly Ladwig. Three on the shot clock. Blocked. Arizona has a chance to score here to take the lead before the end of the quarter, but that pass went to no one. 2 seconds left. Last year, had a chance from three-quarter court, but wasn't able to get it to go down. Arizona State coming back.
Competitive, tough, smart, hungry, all of the things you'd want from a point guard.
And she's already over her average. You see 7.4 points per game for the senior. And already in the first quarter, she has bested that.
Well, she has forced Arizona out of that zone, which has made things a little bit easier for Arizona State.
Arizona State starts the second quarter up by 1. And after starting 4 for 4, Arizona has cooled down considerably.
Back to the zone. You hear out there Arizona's talking a lot. When you're in a matchup, that's a good look inside.
Cornfield, the leading scorer on the year for Arizona. She's got 2 points so far. Zips a pass in. They go out, and then a travel on Welch. Their offense has struggled this year as you look at their rankings in the Big 12. So what's been the difference for them?
Their defense. Definitely has been their defense. I think they have spurts of really great offense. You see that kind of play where you get to the inside to the big player like Carrera or Brackens.
Kick out. Inside the three-point line, Denaya and Trammell. And the fact that they're both in the state of Arizona, there's going to be a lot of hotly contested games between these two teams over the years. Elliott double team. Nice block inside by Francois. But Arizona State able to pick it up and finish it off. The extra effort from Arizona State. Trammell short on that attempt. Williams. And a great block out by Francois. And a steal by Washington. Kind of throws it up. That's a tough shot to try to put over Francois. And Washington still on the floor for Arizona State. No stoppage in play.
Well, she's wanting a review of that last play. She feels like she got hit in the face
that warranted the flagrant foul.
And we heard it all from the official. It's great to have the push to talk so we can get direct feedback after the reviews.
Elliott misses the first, but makes the second, and then the Sun Devils will have possession. That makes it her third personal foul. And she will be sitting on the bench likely the rest of the half. Carrera out to Davenport. Elliott trying to post up, but quick hands from Cornfield, and then a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of Arizona.
If there's no blood, there's no foul in this rivalry, correct?
That's, I think, what Francois is going by. Unfortunately for her, that is her third foul. Three-pointer, good from Sumaya Sugapong.
But there are mismatch opportunities like right now inside.
Elliott wide right.
Good rebound by Adebanjo, who's come in place of Francois.
Ladwig. Sugapong with the basketball. The transfer from UC San Diego, where she was a 2-year starter. Ladwig, the freshman. And a good rebound from Gabby Elliott.
Yeah, good contest by Carrera.
The three-pointer short from Washington, and the follow good from Carrera.
Yeah, Carrera contested that shot, got down the floor really fast. A terrific look by Washington and rebound.
Sugapong, like that may have been tipped from behind by Williams, and then a whistle.
A player like Francois, who's experienced senior, to Adebanjo, who's a sophomore, played last year in Japan, is still very raw, very talented.
First free throw attempt of the game for Arizona. Just a 67% free throw shooter, or that was during her time at Michigan State and the end of her time at Clemson.
Yeah, she's seen stops at Michigan State. Totally bought into Coach Miller's, Coach Molly, as they call her system.
2-on-1 opportunity here for Arizona, and Ladwig got the ball up quickly and was fouled by Jaya Levet, excuse me. As I mentioned earlier, she was a state champion at Scott Catholic in Omaha, a 4-time Class B All-State. I have to give my little shout out to Renee Saunders, who is the volleyball coach at that program that has had a record-setting number of volleyball state championships. She was a former player of mine at Nebraska back in the day. For Arizona, she leads the team on the season with 14 points a game, was named All Big 12 honorable mention, but just hasn't gotten going yet in this one. Nice pass underneath to Fantini.
Well, I like how Elliott is moving around against that zone. They use her outside, inside, posting her up. This time she was a facilitator, passing the ball.
Sugapong lights up the three.
Yeah, just a late switch right there by the Sun Devils, and Sugapong with a little bit of room.
Last possession here of the half. They go inside to Fantini. Looks out and are not able to get a shot up. Good hustling defense by Arizona.
Every single player that has played has scored today. Sugapong needs some help at the offensive end.
As we take a look at the points in the paint advantage from Arizona State, Sugapong leads all scorers with the 12 points. And interesting for Arizona State, Gabby Elliott and Brackens together in the last meeting against Arizona combined for 46 points. They've been held to just 3 points in the first half.
Big storyline, and also Arizona coming out in the man.
Hoa missing. Offensive rebound not there either by Carrera. Arizona first win in a Big 12 tournament game. Arizona State wants to keep in the hunt, and the winner of this game will play number 7 seed Iowa State in tomorrow's just fantastic effort by them. And then BYU was able to get a win over Houston in our second game. Later on, Kansas will play UCF in our nightcap.
Yeah, just a poor pass right there by Washington. It's on the inside. strategy for me, get her out of the game as fast as possible. I think your chances are better when you have the backup post player in there.
3-on-2, just charging, but almost putting on the brakes a little too early for my partner. Trammell makes it.
No, come on, Brenda. That was two bigs leading the break right there.
All right.
Trammell and Francois. It's just like you and me back in the day.
That's right. And we would have had a fast break together. Brackens hits the field goal, and that's a good sign for Arizona State.
Well, Brackens is such a big part of their offense and has been held in check on the interior.
A lot of good guards for Arizona, but it was the bigs leading the last break, and then Francois with a 17-footer.
Yeah, certainly got a bit of a face-up game, switching up the defenses. You know Arizona State talked about how to attack the zone at the halftime, and maybe are a little stagnant here in quarter-court offense.
Yeah, Brackens just had it taken away, and Cornfield again. Arizona had a 2-on-1 fast break. The second foul on Washenitz. Arizona gaining the lead here in the third quarter. They hadn't led since early in the first quarter. Washenitz picks up her dribble.
Great ball pressure.
And a nice backdoor cut. A slippage on the court by Elliott. Her foot just kind of slid out from under her, but she was able to match.
Yeah, just that spot on the floor seems a little slippery.
Gabby Elliott goes to the line, a 77% free throw shooter.
They have been here before this season. In both games, they had a chance to, especially the second game, they led by 4 late in the game.
Right through the hands. Gabby Elliott just 2 points. Brackens with just 4. So it's really the other players that have been stepping up for both teams. And that's what you would expect in a game that's the third time the two teams are playing. Left-handed bank shot by Carrera for the score.
That is such a tough move to put the ball on the floor like that with your back to the basket and spin and make that left-handed shot.
She's the first player in double figures for Arizona State. And a tough shot in traffic from Trammell.
Again, Trammell at 6'1", isn't afraid to compete on the interior. He talks about her being coachable.
Carrera with a nice pass from Brackens.
Yeah, that high-low has been effective at times for the Sun Devils. Not always. Right now, Arizona back in that zone defense.
All tied up. Cornfield banks it in.
I love the fact that Cornfield is a little bit of a go-to player offensively now.
She may be the third best player on that team, but she's expected to do so much scoring on this team.
A little more ball movement here.
Williams, nice pass to set up Gabby Elliott. Addie Brown is back, has been for the last 4 games for Iowa State. They are playing well right now, and the winner of this game will face the tough Cyclone. There's Bill Finley along with Billy right beside him, his son. The longest tenured coaching staff in the Big 12 as a nice shot. Sugapong. Corrado into the game. But a turnover for Arizona. Cross-court pass to Lavette. Short on that three-point attempt. Ladwig pushing. Ladwig has Brackens on her heels. Tries to take it inside. And how about that rebound from 5'7" Sugapong? And then a foul committed.
Disappointing for, I'm sure she doesn't want to be on the bench. That is a leader out there that you certainly want playing.
Everybody's going to need an ice bath after this one. Cornfield, honorable mention, all Big 12. Second in the Big 12 in assists per game, just under 7 assists. 6th best in the country. Carrera.
She has been effective there. Good job of finding her on the interior.
Atabandro. Cornfield short on the three-point attempt, and Arizona State with an opportunity for the last play of the quarter. They were up by 1 at the half. They're up by 2 right now. Stepping into it, Williams rattles in and out. And a three-point heave, no. And that's the way the third quarter will end.
I agree, but they need to get through this game first, which is then, as we have said many times, it's been a bit of a rock fight, 12-13 in that third quarter scoring-wise, and we expect the same here in the fourth quarter. All the games this year between these two teams have been close and heated. Foul trouble is a problem for both teams right now. I'd like to see better ball movement by Arizona State here.
Poa can't finish at the rim. Remember, Arizona has a couple of players with foul trouble. Trammell is on the bench. Almost stolen away by Levette.
Levette just pesky on defense.
4 seconds to shoot. And it'll stay on this end, but just 1.5 seconds. Cornfield. And then an offensive foul called.
I believe that's on Francois.
So if that is the case, and it is, that is her 5th.
That fast and that high into somebody's face in order to gain an advantage.
And you see the result of that. It wasn't actually a punch as she was just showing there, but she got an elbow right to the face. Last year, Poa, an 84% free throw shooter.
She's smiling.
That's good to see. As last year, Poa extends the lead.
Trying to get her team an extra possession. This is where Arizona needs to finish strong. They were up 3 a few minutes ago with their rebounding.
And they get the steal there from Cornfield. So after all of that, Arizona State, 3 offensive rebounds. They drew a foul, and then Cornfield comes back and knocks down a jumper to make this a 2-point ball game.
That is a clutch basket right there. Arizona sticking with this zone. Again, it's a little bit of a matchup.
Davenport, that's a tough shot, high off the window.
You see her get to the rim. Watch her run down the floor if we get a chance to see this. She's on the floor, then she sprints back down the floor, gets a foul called on her, but great hustle.
She was a 2-time national champion at Northwest Florida State College, a junior college, and did just a nice move to protect the ball from Trammell. Arizona side, Francois has fouled out. He was ejected after 2 flagrant fouls, and a foul called on Denia Trammell will send McKenna Brackens, who's been working,
doubled her point production, and this year as well has just become a go-to player for ASU.
You know, Ben Coleman is a football player at Arizona State. His father and McKenna's father both played in the NFL for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Ben Coleman helped convince Brackens to come to Arizona State. A block, but a foul. That's her 3rd foul.
Well, whether you think that's a foul or not, how about the freshman again making an impact? Ladwig.
I mean, did she have her hand on the hip of Ladwig? Because it was certainly a clean block up top.
Yeah, we don't have the right angle, the same angle over here, so certainly there could have been contact down low.
Ladwig misses the first, makes the second. Carrera after getting hit in the nose. And a foul called on Brackens. She has been such an impact transfer for this team from San Diego. She led the Big West in assists per game, all Big West first team. She was the outstanding player of the Big West Championship. And there she goes, making something happen, and will go to the free throw line.
I think the question really was she be able to translate mid-major success to a Power 4 school?
So she makes the first free throw. The foul was on Carrera, which it's her 4th foul. Under 5 minutes to play in this game. foul trouble on both teams.
Arizona is sticking with that zone as well. It has worked for them today. Has kept the Sun Devils a little bit stagnant in the quarter court offense.
Jumper true from Amaya Williams.
That is a big shot right there, but you got to get back on defense.
And a scramble jump ball this time will go to Arizona State. Excitement here in the Big 12 tournament first round. Two rivals playing far away from Arizona. But it has been physical and competitive, and it's going to come down to the wire.
4 on the shot clock.
And that is not a foul you want to commit in that situation. Cornfield commits the foul. So Cornfield picks up her second foul, sending Amaya Williams to the free throw line. Williams has 6 points. And she connects on the second.
Here's where you want to get a good look if you're Arizona. Run some good offense, execute right here.
Ladwick being defended.
Great defense
by Washington, who has those 4 fouls and floating into the paint.
To rebound to finish off defensive plays, and you need to rebound for 40 minutes. Looks like an out of bounds, a turnover right there.
Arizona with a chance to take the lead. Nice pick and roll. Got it! The lead goes back to Arizona. At the other end, that nice pick and roll.
Yeah, Adebanjo again going on the inside to her. She is a limited minutes kind of kid. The tournament.
Yeah, 10-minute player typically. 30.7 points on the year, and she's got 5. And 2 of them, as you mentioned, in these last couple of possessions. Bodies on the floor inside.
She has the job of guarding Carrera right now, which is a task.
The 2 of them had been on the floor. Both of them got up, and Carrera. Trammell. No whistle, and then yes. A whistle called an offensive foul.
Well, Lester Poa saw this coming and got right there to take the charge. Good job of anticipating. It just took a minute for the officials to call it. Little cadence whistle, as they call it.
Yeah, when the official kind of out of the area is waiting for the referee in the area to call it. When it didn't get called and it was seen that it was a foul, the whistle blew. Poa got it.
How about that? Her first bucket of the day. And finding the right time to score for her team at the other.
With a chance to cut the lead to 1 or potentially tie it here with 53.8 seconds remaining in the game.
And just a reminder that Arizona is playing without Francois. Went out with those 5 fouls. The disqualification is not even on the bench. So has had some big minutes from Adebanjo, number 14 on the interior.
Ball is inbounded. Ladwick looking for help. Cornfield. Has 10 points.
Had to look at the alley-oop right there, but because of Poa's defense, couldn't see it.
3-pointer goes up by Sudapong. Doesn't hit anything.
You can still just play defense here if you're Arizona.
Poa puts it on the floor, attacks, brings it back out.
At this point, you want to play defense. Let the shot clock run down. It's at 13. You'll have about 5 seconds after that.
But you got to get a stop.
Yep, you got to get a stop.
6, 5. Carrera. No! Arizona calls a timeout with 8.2 seconds remaining. Coming off that game where she had 6 3-pointers made against Utah. She's got 2 today. 8.2 seconds remaining. Arizona's last score came with 2:51 remaining. Something on the court that they made sure got to the bench. As Sugapong will inbound it. Cornfield trying to get open. Adebanjo. Sugapong. Clock is winding down. 1 second remaining. And Arizona will come up just short of their upset bid to try to send another game to overtime. And Becky Burke and Molly Miller come together.